I am in my car right now. This is guerrilla filmmaking at its finest. I don't know about at its finest, but this is definitely guerrilla filmmaking. I need to get out of here before the security people catch me and ask me to leave. So I had an audition scheduled for 9:30 in the morning. I got the script yesterday at about 11, but I had an appointment with my chiropractor, and then I had another audition, and I read the first line of this scene, and I was like, yes, yes. And I read it right before I was going in to see the chiropractor. And I decided, okay, I'm so excited about this role because I knew just from the beginning that it was right up my alley. I'm like, this is written for me. I know this is going to look great on my reel, but I can't get excited about this yet because I have another audition this afternoon. This was yesterday. So after my audition, I looked at the whole scene, and yep, it was great. It was right up my alley. The lines were easy to remember because they were things that I would say if I were this character in this situation. Sometimes the lines are hard because if you don't handle a lot of technical jargon well in a certain industry, some people are excellent with medical terminology. Some people are excellent with technical engineering terms. Some people are excellent with a certain cadence that you would use when you're speaking a certain dialect or accents, as I've mentioned before. But this was written in language that felt like my native language. So it was very easy to memorize. I went over it a few times. All actors have to figure out how they learn best, and most of us do not enjoy memorizing lines. It's usually our least favorite thing to do. It's mine. Just a few years ago, I learned that I memorize best when I hear the lines. So I record them and play them back over and over and over again. I say the lines with the recording and do other things while it's playing. And so then it's in my head. So I recorded the lines, took a break. I took a nap is what happened. I took a nap. I got up. I worked on it again, ate dinner, did some stuff I needed to do on the computer, texted with my mother for a while, and went back to the lines. And then I knew the lines well enough that I was ready to add the character to it. Who is this woman? Why is she here? Where was she the moment before she got here? What's going on with her? What's her emotional state? What's at stake here? All of that stuff. I have to figure all that out. But audition was scheduled for 9:30 this morning. It is, let's see, it's 10:01 right now. I don't think I've ever in life had an audition before 10:15. So I was supposed to have a rehearsal from 9 to 11 today for a class scene. Needless to say, work trumps rehearsal. So, they were understanding about it. It could happen to any of us, and it does happen all the time. So I got here probably about 9:15 this morning, thanks to Waze. I love that app. It took me some back way through the valley over Mulholland, and I couldn't find it again on my own if I tried, but it got me here because traffic was horrible, as it is during rush hour. And I got here early, and there was nobody at security. Like, usually when you drive onto a lot, you have to show your ID to show that you belong there. They have you on a list, or they don't. But if you're supposed to be there, they have you on a list. And they let you in, you park, they give you a little map, or they give you instructions on where to go. Nobody was at the gate. I just drove in here. I don't have a ticket. Hopefully I can get out of here like I'm supposed to. I want no problem. So I just drove in, I parked, and then I didn't know where to go. It's been a while since I was here, and I couldn't figure out which way I was supposed to go. So I just happened to see a woman that looked like she was going in for the same role as me. I mean, we don't look alike. Like, if you put us next to each other, we're not twins or anything, but same type. That'll happen when you go into auditions. You see a whole bunch of people that, they look like you, basically. Okay, yeah, they're in for the same role. I've recognized her from TV shows, and I was like, oh, I bet she's going where I'm going. And I didn't want to be obvious. I didn't want to be creepy, but I followed her. And she turned around. I don't think she knew I was following her, but I didn't want her to know I was following her because that would be weird. Now I'm trying to paint the picture that I'm not really that weird. And she went to turn a little bit, and I stopped, and I looked like I was engrossed in my script. If anybody was watching this scene, they probably thought I was a weirdo. But I followed her, far enough back that she wouldn't see that I was following her. And I was hoping, I hope she's going where I'm going, because by this time I had wandered around enough that I had like 3 minutes to get into this audition and sign in if I was going to be there on time, which I like to be there early. So I got there. She was going to the place that I was going to. I walked until we got to a certain point, and I recognized the location where I had been before, this casting office. I just didn't remember how to get to it. She went and signed in. I walked around for a while just to get my bearings, clear my head, get rid of the fact that I just got lost on the friggin' lot, which is like that big. It's one of the smaller lots. It's not that big. I have no sense of direction. I get lost. No, I can go home. I can get home from here. I was about to say that if I don't turn on GPS right now, I might not make it home, but I can get home from here. But there are a lot of places that I go on a regular basis I cannot figure out. I cannot remember how to get home. Thank God for GPS, because before that we had Thomas Guide, which I could never read. And I would call. I still have them, two good friends that I would call and say, I'm lost. They would say, okay, what do you see? And what do you see? Mountains? Do you see the ocean? Is there a building over there? Okay, this is what you do. And that's how I would get home or get from place to place. All right, I went off on a tangent, but this was supposed to be short. Anyway, so I got to the place where I was supposed to audition. Old girl signed in. I let a couple other people sign in, and I just walked around, clear my head, run the lines in my head, touch base with what was happening emotionally in the scene, and then I was ready. So I went in. And the person before me was in there. And then they called my name. And I had picked out a headshot. Oh, shoot. Wait a minute. No, I put it away already. Yeah, sometimes when I've been in an office before, I'll take a headshot they haven't seen before. There's a certain type of role I want to play. Really gritty, like underbelly of society type of role. I love that stuff. I find them meaty and interesting, much more interesting than the things that I generally get called in for. I get called in for authority figures, which I understand it because that's me in my real life. I'm the oldest of 7 girls, and I'm good at directing traffic. So I understand why I get cast as the authority figure. Plus I'm 6 feet tall and pounds. So, I get it. But the stuff that I really want to play, I don't get called in for that very often. I love that stuff. That's what this role was. Not somebody who was downtrodden. I'm not good at being downtrodden. Woe is me. But somebody who might have to do some things to get by and feed her kids. Blue collar and sub blue collar with regard to socioeconomic status. I went in. And I was ready, child. But they didn't take my headshot. And my headshot was one that depicted that type of character and took it even further. I'll put a link to it. Yep, you should see it right now. And anyway, I sat down. They said, do you have any questions? I have any questions? And we started. And I was in it, y'all. I was in it from the time I walked in the room. Like, I knew this character. I know this character. And when I went in, I was so calm. I was so calm because I knew what I knew. And I knew I was prepared. And I did it. And they said, that was a really good job. I said, thank you so much. I enjoy the material. And it was the truth. I left. And I realized that, I'm looking at my hand right now, and I realized that I was trembling, and I'm like, oh my God, what's I knew I wasn't nervous because I was ready for this. it was that I was just so excited and just felt plugged in to this role. Again, I don't know if I'll get it. It's out of my hands at this point. I don't know. I want it. I would love to play this role. I would love to do it. But I don't know. I don't know who else is coming in there. I don't know what they're doing in the room. But you know what? I know that I could not have done any better had I written this myself and had a week to prepare. So that's all I have control over in this moment. And I'm embracing it. I skipped back to my car. Well, in my head I skipped. I actually just walked in a sprightly manner. And I got to my car and I knew I needed to record this video while I'm still excited, while I'm feeling that high. I think this feeling is how you know that what you are doing is in line with what you're supposed to be doing. I think about the time I spent in corporate America, and I hated to get up in the morning. I hated life. And I got paid well. I got paid a lot better than I get paid now. Well, consistently, we'll put it that way. I knew when my money was coming. I didn't have to worry about that. I did what I wanted to do, but I didn't want to do anything. I hated life. I got up, I got dressed. It was friggin' early. I'm not a morning person. I should probably get out of here. All right. I will talk to you again soon. I got lots of things that I want to talk to you about. And all right. Bye.